Hi everyone, I'm Mariana.
And I'm Laura.
We're former Division 1 athletes,
We're two sports, two programs,
originally from Tijuana, Mexico,
and we're best friends.
and this is our podcast,
You
You
had
Had to Be There. Hi guys, welcome back to You Had to Be There. Today we'll be talking about recruiting. Laura, do you want to go ahead and start us off?
Sure, why not? Okay, so my recruiting process, I think, started around my sophomore year. I think that's when I started just listing schools and like just seeing which one had a tennis team, which one had a good program. And I just started looking at options. Of course, I still didn't make any contact with the coaches, but I already knew they were aware of me competing and they would follow my results. Then during my junior year, that's when I started sending off emails. I had the format of my email. I did it myself, and I was very proud of it. Um,
Yeah.
I just started sending those to like a bunch of schools, and I think the main thing for me was to have the right coach name and the right school, because you would copy paste so many emails that I mean sometimes I feel like I was scared of sending it to the wrong school or wrong coach name, but I think that
Yeah.
was one of the hardest parts. And then when they were started responding, I did some couple of unofficial visits to school, and of course, recruiting was different just because of COVID, and a lot of girls were staying, and not a lot of scholarships were getting open. But for me, it was very interesting that I also got to live the recruiting process in Mexico. Um, I visited two schools, Tec de Monterrey and Campus Monterrey and Campus Guadalajara. And I think that was a different experience as well, but it was also really nice schools in Mexico, and also had tennis teams that it was a nice opportunity. And I think it was also just nice for the contact with the coach, and like it was similar to the US where they would show you around, take you to dinner, and I felt like I liked it, and I didn't get enough of that while being in the US just because I was not lucky enough to get any official visits. I didn't do any official visits in the US, but
Really?
yeah, no. Did you?
Yeah. Sorry. Continue.
Nice.
Like,
No.
loser. Just kidding.
That's so nice. No, but um I felt like I was also very young while I did all of that recruiting process, and it was it was hard, but I at least I got to travel with my dad to Mexico and just experience, meet the team. And it was just nice to see like how they lived and how would it be if I would have gone to college there. And I think that's also a nice opportunity and also a different route. I mean, Division One, as we said before, it's not for everyone. And I think there's like everyone should consider all of their options. And even I went to play NAIA for 2 years, and that wasn't much of a recruiting process. I just texted the coach, and we just thought it would be a good opportunity for me to keep playing and for me to transfer eventually for the school. So I used it as a ladder, and I think my recruiting experience was pretty simple but pretty straightforward as well. How about yours?
That's Well, you touched on some things there that I would like to talk about probably later on, but um, recruiting was hectic for me. Um, there's just so much going on. I think I started really looking at schools seriously junior year, I would say, kind of when you start sending out those
Yeah.
emails. Um, and before that, I'd obviously started thinking of like, okay, where would I want to go? But really, like you said, you're so young. Like, what do you really know?
Nothing.
There's so many schools out there. There's so many options, whether it's NAIA, playing at a D2, D3, D1. And I just like there was so much for me to think about. And if anyone knows me, I am the biggest overthinker there is. So that was just not that was hectic. That was chaotic. God bless my parents for dealing um all of that with me. But I kind of did the same things. Just wrote down an email that I liked, and I was like, this is good. Parents think is good. And we're just gonna start shooting it out to people and see what we can get out of it. Obviously, there's a lot of rejections that you get. And in learning how to deal with that was interesting. But at the same time, I was shooting my shot to some schools that maybe I even knew I wasn't gonna get in, or not getting, but like get a spot on the team.
Yeah.
Because I think academically I could have gotten in. But, shoot or shoot. So I did. And anyways, no, then I think my parents paid someone to like help me navigate it at some
Oh,
point. And we had like they would pretty much send my name out to people. And that's actually I think how Portland State found out about me. Because I didn't reach out to Portland State. Portland State reached out to me. Um, and
maybe I should have done that, man. Oops.
I don't know, my parents were the ones who found like these guys. And they were great. Um, but no, I went on a few visits. And I went to visit New York. Well, actually, New Jersey. And then that's kind of when I figured out that I didn't want to go to like a D3, D2. I wanted something that was focused on the athletics. Because here it was like liberal arts school, that's what they're called, right?
Okay. I think
I
so.
think so. Um, it's like obviously they're focused a lot on the academics, which is great. You should be focused on the academics. But that wasn't my priority. So, I cared more about the team wanting to go out and win tournaments, uh, which makes sense with what I do now with my career. But yeah, I went to visit New Jersey and it was freezing and there was snow and I was like, oh, this is not the vibe for me. Then visited school in San Diego, Cal State San Marcos, that's D2. Great program, great team. But I didn't want to stay close to home. So I was like, not for me. Um, Visited Portland State. Kind of loved the city from the get-go. And just had a good vibe. And that visit was just like just fun. Just fun. The girls were fun. The coach was awesome. Um, but there were like so many other things mixed in there, like phone calls
Yes.
and um just like talking to girls on the team and trying to navigate what they think and whether they're just trying to woo you or they're actually being honest. Did you feel any of that?
Um, well, I think the girls in my visits in Mexico, they were pretty honest and straightforward. They told me that they had played D1 for 4 years and then they were
Mhm.
just using it as a way to do their masters and that the level and the experience wouldn't be the same and that they recommended me just to keep fighting for like eventually being a D1 athlete. And
Yeah.
I think that was very helpful. And I think the coach was disappointed that I ended up going to a different school just because he saw so much potential. But it was already the winning team on nationals, and like there was not much competing. Like they
Hmm.
dominated the area pretty easy. And I don't know, I think it was different for me in that kind of way. And with phone calls, like I think I did have quite many phone calls, but it wasn't the same. And I think I could just realize right away, like if they would talk about academics, like you said, or like more about athletics. And I didn't like when they would talk more about the academics or like the programs. And I think I just wanted a team that wanted to win, like you did.
Yeah.
And I think you can realize that already in like the phone calls, like how they approach you and stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember there was a phone call I had with a school, and there was a like a private Catholic school, and the first question the coach asked me was like what was my praying routine?
Oh,
And I pray, guys. I do.
yeah.
But I was like, oh. And then she only cared about that part of like who I
Mhm.
was and not really like what I wanted to study or like
Mm.
my goals. And I was like, that's a little odd. So
Yeah.
then I was like, thank you very much.
Next one.
Like, thank you. Next. Like just like you find out like you have weird conversations. You find out little things that you're like, this is for me, this might not be.
Yes, the red
Um,
flags.
there are some red flags in some of those coaches. And some of those girls too. But it's hard to pick that like or like notice when you're going through the process.
Yes, I mean, even when someone would come and be on their official visits, like you all know you have to be on your best behavior and like make it the best weekend ever for them. So you try
Yeah.
really hard, but doesn't mean that it's always like that. Or like the team dynamic, it's always so good. Like, no, it can
Yeah,
change so much.
it's crazy. I remember I had a phone call once, which is kind of when I was like, oh, this like feels like it's real. And I was just like super honest with the coach of like, oh, I had a really bad tournament this past weekend, and he was like, okay, talk me through it, whatever. And I kind of did, and he was just like immediate. He's like, I want to fly you out after that conversation. And I was like, oh. And I didn't end up going on that visit because I eventually I had my visit to Portland State first
Hmm.
and I had mentioned to him like, hey, this is what they're offering me. Can you match that? And he was like, not immediately, but like eventually. Um, and he actually told me like, I think you should take it. Like he sent me a really nice long paragraph and he was like, I, offers like that don't come like very often, and I think you should take it. I know the coach, she's great, girls are awesome. Like I think that that's your that's your answer,
Yeah.
right? It was like having those conversations and building those relationships with coaches, even though you weren't even on the team yet,
Yeah.
was interesting to me because not every coach was like that.
No, of course not.
Some coaches just ignored,
Yeah.
you know,
But
just
what made Portland like the right choice for you, or what made it like I don't know, how did you know that you were making the right choice? Was it on a phone call? When did you realize it? When you visited? Was it like the team dynamic, the coach, or like mix of all? Like how were you sure that you wanted to go to Portland State? Because I mean, I think you liked it. You stayed there for what, 5 years in Portland?
yeah. It's a funny question. First of all, I didn't know Portland State existed. Let's start there. I got an email and I was like, I don't know what this is. We're gonna look it up.
Is it the
I was
one?
like, oh, I was like, that looks pretty. That's a D1. Oh. Coach was like, what's your tournament schedule? I sent it. She goes, flying out this day. I said, cool. She watched a high school match, not even like an actual tournament.
Oh.
Watched a high school match, flew in, watched, left that same day. And I was like, okay, that's some commitment, which was a green flag for me. Um,
And it was a head
things,
coach, not assistant coach.
yeah, the
Oh,
head
wow.
coach. And after she watched me, she pretty much got to Portland, and the next day she's like, I'm getting ready to plan out a visit to fly you out. She's like, I want to get the ball rolling. And I was
Mhm.
like, okay. So
Wow.
then I did. And then coach picked us up. My parents went with me, and I got there at night, so you can't really see anything.
Mhm.
Um, And then next morning had a tour, met the girls, like went to the golf course, like just like a little overview of everything. Got lunch, and I think we did like an activity. I think we went to like a haunted house or something with the girls. Tried Dutch for the first time.
Oh.
That was great. Uh, I still remember what I got. I got a banana chai. But anyways, um, the
Very
girls
relevant
had
to
a
the story, guys.
sorry. The girls had a really good dynamic between them and with Coach. Coach was great. We had a talk by the last day of my visit where she presented the offer. She pretty much told me what the plan was and like her telling me that she was like picking me out to go win a conference championship. Like she thought I was the one of the players that could achieve that. Was a nice feeling. And you could tell that, I mean, she's still like hungry to win events to this day, right? And that's what I wanted. And if I was going to move away, I wanted someone who had the same goals and girls who had the same goals and just got along. So obviously, as you know, it still took me about 2 weeks to accept my offer,
Yeah.
because you never really know. But I think when I looked at the bigger picture and all the other offers I had, that place felt like home more than any other one.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a great fit for you, and I think it was close enough to being home. Like you could hop on a flight, and it was like what, 2 hours, but it was
Yeah.
still far away where you could have your space and do your own thing. And I think it's very important that you realize quickly like what the intentions from the coach were, and like the team and the dynamic, and how you like analyze the relationship with like within the team and like with the coach. I think that tells you a lot, and that makes it easier to like know, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I also looked at the academics and made sure they had my major and that it was a right fit on that side as well, which it was. They have a great business school. So it's really like checked all the boxes. Um, and I think the other school that might have checked, uh, I think the boxes was Seattle U,
Mm-hmm.
um, but it wasn't the same offer when it came to money,
Okay.
right? So when you're offered a full ride, you're kind of like, okay, I should probably take that,
Yeah, no, for sure.
honestly.
I
Like
mean, it
it's,
doesn't come easy, so I think it's also smart knowing when to take it. I mean, it took two weeks to process it and to think it through, but no, I think
overthinker. I wasn't joking.
yeah.
Even at Portland State, like I would help coach out with the visits.
Hmm.
It's like I always try to get as many girls to go to meet the recruit, you know, whether it was girls were gonna go get ice cream and just for you to meet her and interact and see how we get along. We always try to make sure our players were involved in the recruiting process. So I think it makes a big difference.
No, I agree 100%. I think when I had the opportunity to also host unofficial official visits and unofficial visits, all the girls as a team, we made an effort and we would divide, and we had different activities planned out throughout the day. And if someone had class or someone had a test, like you had to sign up for at least one so the girl could get to meet all of us. And we
Yeah.
also did like some team dinners where we would cook at our coach's house. And I think that showed like a more honest dynamic of what we were as a team. And
Yeah.
I think it's nicer, and I think it makes others like feel at home easier. And I think that's a key part for like the recruiting. What's something you would recommend to someone who's going through all the recruiting process right now?
Oh, I think my biggest point is hear everyone out.
You,
Because I did it. There are some bigger schools than the one I went to that wanted to offer me, and because of the location, I fully ignored them. Well, not ignored, but I fully disregarded them. And I was just like, thank you. This isn't the place for me. And I mean, I was staying true to what I thought I wanted, and I think it made sense. But it never hurts to hear someone out. They're interested for a reason.
yeah,
Everyone has something to, you know, I don't know,
offer. Yeah,
just yeah, exactly. Everyone has something to offer. So just make sure you are open to options.
that's good advice.
Yeah, what about you?
I would say stay patient. Like no matter what, you're gonna end up in the best place for you. Like we make plans, we can think about what would be ideal for us, but at the end of the day, if that's not meant to be, it's not gonna be. So I think just staying patient and just waiting for the right opportunity, it's what's gonna make a difference for the experience as well. Like just don't rush into the first offer that you get because it might not be the right fit for you, or don't be scared that nothing better is going to come. So I think just staying patient and waiting for what's actually right for you. Like, don't doubt about talking to many schools.
No, that's I actually agree with you on that a lot. There was a point where a lot of my friends were getting offers and I felt like I was stuck and nothing was happening for me. And I even considered like going to Europe, just honestly quitting golf. Like obviously playing for fun, but not competing anymore because I was just so overwhelmed and felt like I was behind and things ended up perfectly fine and I ended up in the right spot. So I fully agree with that. Just you never know what's gonna happen.
No,
You could
trust
have
the
a
process.
plan and that just does not turn out the way you thought it would, but it turns out the best way for you. So I
Yes.
fully agree with that. That's that's good advice, Sana. Look at you.
I'm learning.
But yeah, just I think at the end of the day, stay true to yourself. You know, the right things will happen when they need to happen. The right coaches will come find you, or you might go find them. Just like Laura said, trust the process and enjoy it. As hard as it is to enjoy it, do enjoy the visits, enjoy the phone calls, enjoy sending out emails, enjoy competing and having coaches watch you. Like it's pressure and
It's a
it's
privilege.
exhausting, but it's all worth it.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
yeah, I think that's our little advice on recruiting. Um, a little of our backstory and just some things we would look out for if we were doing it again.
Yeah. Learning.
Mm. Yeah, do you have anything else to say?
Just what's meant to be will be, guys. Trust the process and enjoy it as well. And follow and subscribe.
Yes, follow and subscribe, guys. All right, bye.
Bye.